Hello there everybody and welcome to a new video. Today we've got a nice watch for you. It is the Addiesdive AD2066, which is, I'd call it a spearmint dial watch. Now, I've got to say, I was really surprised by this watch. I ordered it thinking that I wouldn't like it very much. And when it arrived, the green on the dial was so sort of subdued. I just thought it looked really classy. I have put a link in the description and also in this video if you do want to get it. But Aliexpress, the watch store, the Addiesdive watch store that I got it from, you're going to be able to pick it up for about $51 there or thereabouts. I will start off with the dimensions because they're very similar to most of the 36mm watches that you see here. So obviously 36mm diameter, you've got 46mm top to bottom lugs, you have 19mm end links because of this smaller case, so slightly different to the regular 20mm that you get on most watches, 11mm of thickness, and in total with that stainless steel bracelet you're looking at a total of 115 grams. Here's some on the wrist shots and footage for you. So for those of you who watched my videos before, I've got around about a 7¼ inch wrist, and there's this massive misconception that 36mm is too small for a man. Now I don't consider my wrist to be particularly large, but they're certainly not the smallest, and 36mm fits perfectly fine. I've said this before in many videos, if you're used to wearing like a 40mm plus watch, then yes, for a short period 36mm seems to feel a little small. But I can assure you when it's on the wrist, and most importantly when somebody's looking at it, my view anyway, I don't think that it looks particularly small or unmanly in any way, shape or form. If we move to the features of the watch, first thing to note is that you do have 100 meters of water resistance. So whilst this is a dress watch, you can safely wear it in the water without fear of it getting wrecked. Another good thing, you do have the Seiko VH31 movement, so it moves like a mechanical wristwatch but has the accuracy and convenience of a quartz. You also have that screw down crown which is signed, so that further enhances that 100 meters of water resistance. One thing that's not spoken about very often at watches, especially at this price point, is the fact that you get solid end links and a really nice engraved case back. I can't say, how much it impresses me at this price point that you're getting these level of features. You also have a bubble mineral crystal which has got anti-reflective coating. You can see in some lights this sort of blue sheen effect on it, but it does a really good job of keeping the glare off that crystal, and because it's domed it is susceptible to a little bit of glare, so the AR coating is particularly useful. You do see though on the hand and the dial you do have some lume on there. Now it is BGW9, so it is quite strong, but again it is not going to be to the same sort of strength or I suppose intensity as what you're going to find on a dive watch, but overall very good. So onto the case finishing and that dial. So case I think is similar to the other 36mm watches that Addiesdive have put out. The most recent Sahara desert dial version that I reviewed. I've looked at the cases side by side. I think they're the same, but finishing absolutely fantastic. You've got really nice cushioned sort of rounded edges, nothing sharp on it, nice polishing on the sides and on the bezel, and then you've got a slightly brushed sort of finish on the top. But the dial, and that is the big star of the show. Again, you're looking at a watch that is just over $50. The indices, the application of the lume, and that little bit of engraving track almost on the inner part of the dial is just fantastic. It's a really, really subtle green, and I'd go so far as to say in some lights it just looks silver, and in other lights it just has this cool mint look to it. It's not too green. I'm not a big fan of coloured dials myself, but this just oozes elegance. One thing I don't like too much is that cursive sort of text that Addiesdive have now moved on to. Not my cup of tea. I did prefer the older style logo, but that's just my opinion. Onto the bracelet, and I'm pretty sure this is the same bracelet that you get on most of, or if not all of the 36mm Addiesdive watches. See there, you've got the oyster style links with brushed finish. End link fitting is quite good, and overall the bracelet's very, very tight. In terms of the clasp, you do have the old Addiesdive logo as opposed to the cursive text version, so that would have been nice to see the same used on the dial and also the clasp. You've got 5 points of adjustment there, so you know, if you don't want to take off too many links and you want to tighten it there, then you can do so. So overall, you know, quite a nice bracelet, and again at the price point of just over $50, what are you expecting? You know, you've got a solid bracelet there. So my final thoughts, well, I said this at the start of the video, I was not expecting to enjoy this watch as much as I did. I'm not a big fan of coloured dials, but this is rather, how would I put it? Discreet is probably the best way to put it. It's got a little bit of green in it, but it's got a lot of silver in it. But ultimately, depending upon the lighting conditions, the dial will change colour. It has got this wonderful sunburst effect. The indices and that small engraving around the outer part of the dial is exceptionally well executed, again for this price point. And overall, I think it's a really classy watch. If you want something that's, you know, going to be worn in a dress or a business environment, you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want it to look like it's got a lot of money, then this is certainly something that I would be having a look at. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, but as per usual, if you do have any comments or questions, please put them in the section below and I will come back to you when I can. With that being said, I hope you have a lovely rest of the weekend, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Take care, guys. Goodbye.